There is a snail in the Indo-Pacific that can kill you. Not a snake, not a jellyfish, not a shark, a snail. A slow-moving, shell-carrying, looks like it belongs in a gift shop snail. And it has killed humans who picked it up off the beach because it looked pretty. The cone snail fires a harpoon, not metaphorically, an actual harpoon, a hollow barbed tooth called a radula that launches from any direction on its body, including the end you think is safe to hold. The venom it injects contains hundreds of different compounds simultaneously, and there is no antivenom. If you get a significant dose from a geography cone, the most lethal species, your treatment options are to wait and hope, or to not get stung in the first place. This is a snail. It moves at snail pace. It lives in shallow water. It has been building this weapon system for millions of years, in an environment most people consider benign enough to wade through barefoot. And the cone snail is not even close to the strangest example of venom evolution in the ocean. The question is why? Why does the ocean keep producing venomous animals, more of them, in more diverse forms, than any terrestrial environment on Earth? Why has evolution, independently and repeatedly, arrived at the same solution across animals that share almost no biology in common? And what does the sheer variety of ocean venom tell us about the pressures that the ocean puts on everything living in it? Start with the scale of it, because the scale is the first thing that surprises people. There are more venomous fish species than venomous reptiles, mammals, and amphibians combined. More than 1/200 species of fish are venomous, meaning they actively deliver venom through a spine or fang, as opposed to being merely toxic to eat. Stonefish, scorpionfish, weavers, toadfish, rabbitfish, stargazers, surgeonfish, lionfishes. Across dozens of unrelated taxonomic families in every ocean basin at nearly every depth. Add the invertebrates, cone snails, box jellyfish, blue-ringed octopuses, fire urchins, bristle worms, certain sea anemones, certain sea stars. Add the cnidarians, which have been deploying nematocysts, microscopic harpoons that fire on contact, for more than 500 million years. Add the sea snakes, many of which carry venom more potent by volume than any land snake. Add the platypus, which is technically a freshwater animal but illustrates the same principle. Venom keeps evolving in aquatic environments at a rate that has no parallel on land. Scientists call this convergent evolution, the independent development of the same solution in unrelated lineages. Wings evolved independently in birds, bats, and insects. Eyes evolved independently at least 40 times across the animal kingdom. Venom, in the ocean, has evolved independently so many times that researchers have largely stopped trying to count the events and started asking what the ocean is doing that keeps producing it. The answer starts with what the ocean doesn't have: walls. On land, most animals have defensible spaces: burrows, trees, rocky outcroppings, dense vegetation. A mouse being pursued by a hawk can reach cover. A beetle under threat can retreat under bark. The terrestrial environment is full of refuges, places where being slow or small or not particularly fast to react doesn't necessarily mean death. The ocean has almost none of this. Open water is geometrically brutal. There is no cover in every direction simultaneously, and in the deep ocean there is no cover at all. An animal in open water that is slower than its predator has exactly one option: survive being caught. Venom is the solution to that problem. A stonefish, which is arguably the most venomous fish in the ocean, is also approximately the worst swimmer you will encounter. It sits on the bottom, motionless, disguised as a rock, and does essentially nothing. Its entire strategy, millions of years of evolutionary refinement, is to not move, not be seen, and if something touches it, to inject agony through the 13 dorsal spines it carries along its back. The venom is not used to hunt. The stonefish is a passive ambush predator that uses its mouth, not its spines, to catch prey. The spines are purely defensive. The stonefish evolved a weapon it uses only when threatened: because being a bad swimmer in the ocean with no defensive weapon is an extremely fast route to extinction. The cone snail is the same logic. It moves slowly. It cannot flee. The harpoon system it evolved, which fires in under a millisecond faster than a human pain response, is the only thing that makes it viable as an organism in an environment where everything mobile is also a potential predator. Venom in the ocean is frequently not a hunting tool. It is the solution evolution found for animals that cannot run. But that's only half the story, because some ocean venom is not defensive at all. The blue-ringed octopus, one of the most venomous animals on the planet relative to body size, is an active hunter. It is also small enough to sit in your palm. It hunts crustaceans by enveloping them and delivering tetrodotoxin, the same compound found in pufferfish, which blocks sodium channels in nerve cells and causes paralysis within minutes. The octopus then feeds at leisure on an immobilized prey item it could not have subdued through force alone. The tetrodotoxin, incidentally, is not made by the octopus. It's produced by bacteria living in the octopus's tissues, the same bacteria that produce tetrodotoxin in pufferfish, in certain newts, in certain starfish, and in some species of flatworm. The compound appears across dozens of unrelated species because the bacteria that produce it can be acquired by multiple hosts, and once acquired, the host that figures out how to use the compound gains an immediate advantage. The blue-ringed octopus didn't evolve tetrodotoxin. It domesticated the organisms that produce it, which is exactly what the anglerfish did with bioluminescent bacteria. The ocean keeps arriving at the same strategy. Outsource the chemistry to a microorganism, then exploit the product. The cone snail does the same thing differently. Its venom, called conotoxin, is a cocktail of hundreds of small peptides, each targeting a different ion channel or receptor in the nervous system. No two cone snail species have exactly the same venom composition. The genus has been evolving in the ocean for roughly 50 million years, and in that time has produced a library of compounds so diverse and so precisely targeted that pharmacologists have been mining it for decades. One compound derived from cone snail venom, ziconotide, is now used as a painkiller in humans. Administered directly into the spinal fluid, it's estimated to be 1,000 times more potent than morphine for certain types of pain. The snail evolved it to paralyze fish. We adapted it to treat chronic pain in cancer patients. Then there's the most extreme venom architecture in the ocean, which belongs to an animal most people associate with mild summer stings and beach inconvenience. The box jellyfish, specifically Chironex fleckeri, the Australian sea wasp, carries venom that kills in under 5 minutes at sufficient dose, not hours, minutes. The mechanism involves simultaneous disruption of cardiovascular function, neurotoxic effects on the nervous system, and direct destruction of red blood cells. The speed of onset is so fast that documented fatalities have occurred before the victim could exit the water. The box jellyfish is not hunting humans, it's hunting shrimp and small fish. The lethality to humans is, in evolutionary terms, incidental, a consequence of a venom system so powerful and fast-acting that it works on any animal with similar cellular biology. The jellyfish needs its prey to stop moving immediately because a jellyfish that has to chase prey it stung 30 seconds ago is not an effective hunter. Evolution selected for the fastest possible incapacitation, and what it arrived at kills large mammals as a side effect. The truly strange part is the jellyfish's sensory system. Box jellyfish have 24 eyes, grouped into 4 clusters of 6, each cluster containing 1 eye with a proper lens, iris, and retina. They can see, navigate, and avoid obstacles in 3 dimensions, despite having no brain in any conventional sense. The processing happens in a distributed nerve net. A box jellyfish, which is primarily water, with no brain, with venom that can kill a human in minutes, can also see you coming. What unites all of these, the cone snail, the stonefish, the blue-ringed octopus, the box jellyfish, is the ocean's fundamental economic pressure. Energy is scarce, and wasting it is fatal. Venom is energetically expensive to produce. Building complex peptide cocktails requires protein synthesis, metabolic precursors, specialized glandular tissue. An animal does not evolve an expensive system unless the alternative is worse. What all venomous ocean creatures share is the same underlying cost-benefit calculation that the anglerfish made with its lure and the sperm whale made with its acoustic organ. The investment is worth it because the ocean without it is not survivable. The terrestrial environment is full of options: speed, camouflage, burrowing, climbing, social defense. The ocean, especially in open water, keeps funneling everything toward the same narrow set of solutions. Venom is one of them. It keeps evolving independently in unrelated animals because in an environment with no walls and no cover, the ability to make touching you expensive is one of the few reliable survival strategies available. The cone snail is still the one I think about most, not because its venom is the most lethal or its mechanism the most sophisticated, but because of what it represents: a slow animal, in shallow water, with a shell that attracts human attention, carrying a weapon system refined over 50 million years of ocean pressure. So effective that there is still no anti-venom, so chemically complex that we've barely mapped it, and so precisely engineered that we're extracting compounds from it to treat human pain. It looks like something you'd put on a shelf. What it actually is 50 million years of the ocean solving the problem of being slow.